Hey guys, and welcome back to another More with Morrows video. As you guys can see, today's video is going to be a fridge and pantry organization video. I am going to take you guys through every step of the way when it comes to organizing all of our groceries in our fridge and in our pantry, and hopefully we'll give you guys some ideas as well and help you organize your fridge and pantry and give you some tips and some different things to help you out. I'm just showing you guys all of the groceries that just got delivered to our door. This will usually last us a couple weeks because I know I get a lot of questions like, how often do we go grocery shopping? How long will things last? And usually a week and a half to 2 weeks is a good, I would say, estimate of how many times we do grocery shopping. Of course, we'll get like things here and there, but if we're doing like a big order like this, it's usually every week and a half to 2 weeks. So I do hope that you guys enjoy this video and that it will be helpful for you guys as well. So first things first, before I do anything, and I try to do this before I get groceries, is I will go through everything in my fridge and check for things that are old or expired. You know, sometimes I can be very guilty of leaving old and expired things in there. You know, like a lot of the times jarred things or bottles of like different condiments you don't realize are expired, and then they end up just taking up more space in your fridge. So I really like to try to go through everything. I feel like, you know, that's something that everybody does, but again, you don't realize how much space you can take up in your fridge when you have old and expired things in there. So that's usually the first thing that I will do. And the second thing is if I need to wipe down anything really quickly, usually the produce drawers, like where I keep the fruits and veggies, can sometimes get dirty or if something spills. So I just go ahead and wipe that up and clean it up. I try to clean the fridge as I go. I know sometimes people will do deep cleans like once a month or, you know, every so often, but I usually try to clean as I go, try to keep the fridge clean as I go, and try to keep it organized as I go. Now, I'm not perfect when it comes to that, but at least trying to do that here and there helps a lot with keeping a fridge clean and organized. Alright, so my second tip for keeping my fridge organized is I definitely recommend buying some kind of bin, or I like to use the clear bins because I can see what's inside of them. You can find these pretty inexpensive on Amazon or even at Walmart. So I can definitely leave some links down below, or I will leave some links down below for you guys to check out if you're interested in getting some of these bins for your fridge. And some of you might be wondering, okay, well, what's the purpose of clear bins? Why don't you just put the, you know, the yogurt drinks or the juice in there? So how it helps me is that I, first of all, am not having my fridge as cluttered by having like different boxes in there or things getting shuffled around. Like, for example, you guys saw the yogurt drinks were in one place and the juice was another place, so it just keeps it in one spot and you can just easily see it, because sometimes things can get like hidden in the fridge, and especially if you keep them in boxes, you won't see them, at least for me. So that's why the clear bins really help me out, and we're able to use more of the food in there versus if they're just getting lost and you're not seeing them, which can happen. So, you know, like for example right here with the eggs, just taking everything out of the carton, so I can just easily go into the fridge, I know where they're at, take it out, and they're all in one place. I hope that makes sense. And it also just keeps everything organized in one place. I try to, you know, put at least like all of the butter together, all of the yogurt together. I know it takes that extra time or that extra step to do it, but once you do it, it is so worth it. And I always recycle all of the boxes that we use or that we don't end up using. So now I am taking my Thieves fruit and veggie wash. It's like a soak that I use for my produce. I am doing this for all of my berries, and I just realized that I probably should have picked a bigger bowl for my strawberries and blueberries and raspberries. But I do this because you can see just like that little capful of Thieves fruit wash takes off so much nasty stuff off of your berries. And I didn't even realize this at first, like when I was filming this part, but there was also a spider in there. So you don't ever know what kind of insects or bugs or critters are in your fruits and veggies. So it's very, very important to wash and soak those. So after they soak for a couple minutes, I'll just rinse them through and I'll let them dry. And actually I've noticed that my produce lasts a little bit longer when I do this. And I also use a green saver for them as well, so I'll link that down below for you guys. So, all right, so now moving on to our pantry. I will be honest with you guys, I kind of let the pantry go this past month, and I really didn't stay on top of keeping things organized and keeping the pantry as clean as possible. So this definitely took me the longest. And again, going back to my fridge organization, I really like using clear bins to organize all of my food. I've just noticed that like when you have boxes of snacks and everything, it gets so cluttered. And I know I've mentioned this before, but it's easier for the kids when I organize like food and snacks like this for them, because they're able to go right into the pantry, grab what they need, instead of having to go through a whole bunch of boxes. And you know, kids aren't gonna put things right back where they go, or you know, put them back as organized as you had them. So that's why I like to take everything out of the boxes, put them in the clear bins, and they can just go right up to whatever snack that they want. It's easily accessible, and you don't have to worry about, or they don't have to worry about, you know, searching for it or going through the boxes. And like I said before with the fridge, it does take a little extra time and a little extra step to do this, but in my opinion, it is so worth it, especially if you are wanting a really organized pantry. It just keeps everything more in order, less cluttered that way. And for me, even though it does take the extra time, it's so worth it. And I also wanted to mention really quickly that all of the boxes that, you know, like the food comes in, we do recycle. So we will break it down and make sure to recycle everything. And these are the green saver storage containers that I was talking about. It just keeps your produce fresh a lot longer. They even make bigger sizes. I need to get the bigger size one. So I will leave a link down below for you guys if you are interested in getting these. They do have like little filters that you need to change every now and then, but they are definitely worth it. And actually sometimes I'll end up, if I have extra berries, like for example, I had a lot of extra this time, I will end up freezing it and using it in smoothies or ICI bowls, or, you know, just topping it with yogurt. That way I'm not wasting produce, because produce sometimes can go bad really fast. So also like the fridge, I had to go through the pantry and get rid of anything old or expired. Like we had the most random stuff in the pantry, like little poppets. The top shelf, as you guys can see, is kind of like our sugar shelf, and there was just so much stuff that was expired and old and that we needed to go through and get rid of and throw away and just organize in general. I didn't realize how much food that we had that was expired as well. So that's why it's so important that, at least for me, I try to go through everything and check expiration dates, and if things been open for a while, just check those things before putting more things in there. Because I don't know if I showed it in this clip, but there was like 3 boxes. We had 3 boxes of graham crackers. Like we just kept buying them because they were hidden and they were old and expired, but we just kept taking up more and more space. So that's why I think it's so important to just go through everything. And like, for example, these puffs of Scarlett's, some of them were old and baby mums that were just sitting there taking up space. So it just makes your pantry look cluttered, and when it looks cluttered, it's not as organized as well. So that's why I can't stress that enough. Also, I did want to mention that I will be leaving all of these containers, the links to them down below if you guys want to check them out. We really like these bigger containers for cereals because the kids or we can just grab them and just keep all of that. Just realized that I spilled all of that and didn't cut it out. Oh well, we're just gonna keep it in. But anyways, like I was saying, I really like putting the snacks and cereals in these clear containers because again, the kids can just grab them or we can grab them and put them back where they go. And also another thing is that they come with these like seal tight lids that you snap on, and it keeps it fresh longer, which, you know, if you're having cereal or snacks in a box, you know, sometimes you aren't the best at like rolling them back up and preventing them from going bad or stale. So that's another reason why I like using those containers. And then these bigger glass containers that I use for flour and sugar, I think if I can remember, I got those at the Container Store, but you can find big containers like that from, or a big glass container like that from Amazon. Alright guys, so that is gonna wrap it up for this fridge and pantry organization video. I know it was a short video, but I really wanted to share some tips and tricks that I have with you guys. Even if you don't have a big pantry or a walk-in pantry, you can still do this because trust me, I've had my fair share of just using cabinets as pantries. And if you've been like an OG Brittany and Baby watcher from our other channel from like years ago, I did the same exact methods even in cabinets, and it still worked. It still saved up so much space and kept things really organized. So even if you don't have the space, you can still work with what you got and be able to organize it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love doing these kind of videos for you, especially organization videos, because I'm hoping that they can help you out in some kind of way. And if they don't, at least hopefully you guys are enjoying these videos as you're watching them. But I love you guys, and we will see you in our next one. The next video is going to be a pretty exciting one.